Hello my friends, today we are here to test and make a little review of some knives that a Spanish company sent me via mail. Unfortunately lately I had some problem to my knee, as you can see, and I can't walk too much. So this is the perfect occasion to test these knives, and there are 3 of them, and I will show them in a moment. So stay tuned and let's see what we got. This is one, the other, and then I have a neck knife that I will show you later. They are handmade knives, all made in good material. This is bocote wood, this is leather, and the steel is pretty good. It's a SANDVIK, and I will put the type of steel on the description, also a link to a place where you can find all the specifics about this type of steel. I can only say that this steel is really good, and also the review of this steel are all good. This is one of the knives, black liners, thick liners, wood, really comfortable handle. Also the shape of the blade, I like it. It's a Bushcraft type, a flat grind with a V-edge, a bevel here to keep the edge better. As I said, this steel is really good. It's similar to 3V steel as a hardness, but a bit easier to sharpen. The 3V steel is really tough to sharp, in my experience at least. I have a bark river with that steel, and it's really a pain to sharp. But anyway, it's a good steel, and it's awesome as edge retention. This is almost that good, and you don't have to worry about the flat grind, because the difference with the Scandi and the convex grind is not that you can't make bushcraft activities with a flat grind, also with a V-edge. The difference is in splitting the wood. This type of grind is, as you can see, it starts from the spine and go down straight to the edge. And the only problem with this, in my opinion at least, is that when you try to batoon it in the wood, if you find a good knot in the hard type of wood, it will stuck inside the wood, and it's not easy to take it away. Sometimes it's also dangerous. So in that case, the Scandi and the convex are really better. But to make feather sticks, as you will see, no problem. On the contrary, I prefer this type of edge to the convex to make feather sticks and to make small jobs like carving. But let's see this. Let's put some stress on these blades. you can see, is a perfect companion to make good feather sticks. Don't be fooled by those who say that you need a scanty edge to make feather sticks, because it's not true. The advantages of scanty edge are others, not to make feather sticks. And when you want to make a feather stick, you want to use the curved part, and also use an angle with the wood. I'm not here to make to cut paper or to shave myself, because I don't like very much that that shows to see the sharpness of a blade. For me, a blade is something that I need to make this, not to cut the paper. I use them outside when in my adventures. I don't use the knives in my office. And with something like this you can start a fire with no problem. And also the cutting power of this is really good. As I said before, if you take a log of this size and you split it in 4 parts and use one of them, the inner part of the log, to make feather sticks, is different, because the density of the wood you take is all the same. While using a stick like this, you start with a soft external part of the stick, and then when you go inside the core of the wood of the stick, it becomes harder and harder. So you have to adjust your angle and your strength and it's become different to make a fatter stick. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more difficult, depends on the wood. If you can find a good straight stick with a few knots on it, you can make a feather stick like this with no problem. And this is what you need, all you need to start your fire. See? This steel is the same steel, I guess, that they use on the Morad knives. Is a SANDVIK steel, Scandinavian steel, and as I said, it's really, really good. And I had another knife with this steel, and it's really a pleasure to make to sharpen it, because you can feel the blade become really, really sharp. When I want to see if a knife is really sharp, I just put it on my thumb, and if it doesn't slip, the blade doesn't slip, means that it's sharp enough to make this, which is what you need out in the wood. Also, it's really important to understand your knife. It's not, as I said many times, it's not very good to change knife too often, because you need to understand your knife in the way that you know the limits of your knives and the angle, and it become a good friend in the forest. Also, the sheet comes with this fire steel. The knife has a good spine to use with your fire steel. This is new, but you can see it's perfect. And also to use it on the wood like this is really, really good. Now let's say that you want to make a spoon. The way that I do that is I split a log like this in half, and this will become my spoon. I should draw a shape of the spoon here, but I don't have a pen with me, so I just use my fantasy. Then the method that I use, let's say that this part will become the spoon, and this would be the handle of the spoon. So I just make a cut around. Sometimes it's difficult to have any like this. At least for me, that I'm not used to it. Okay, and now with a good baton we split you see the two cuts. We split the wood here and here, and we will make the handle. You see what I mean before? With a different type of grind, you won't have any problem, because the the Scandi, or even better the convex, try to split the wood. Well, this is a bit more difficult, but as you can see, it's not a big deal in the end. On the contrary. As you can see, we are putting some stress on this blade, just because we want to see if can handle it. Now we have the shape. We have to cut a bit more here, but we already can see what we want to achieve. Sometimes you have to just follow the wood. You can't treat it like plastic. So you have to follow it a bit. You can be pretty sure that if you make a spoon with a knife, and at the end of the process the knife is still working pretty good, pretty well, it's a good blade. Also, it's important to use a knife in this way, because you test also the handle. And as I said, this handle is really comfortable. The other model, this model, is as I said, Canadian style, and I have to say that I prefer this shape of the blade, because it's weird and it's really beautiful, in my opinion at least. But I have to say that for me is better the other one, to carve at least. Also, the handle is a bit different, you see? It's a bit different. This is a point edge and more guard, while this is rounded with a small guard. If you are going to use the knife only in this grip, This is perfect. The Canadian is perfect. You feel much safe with this. But if you like to use your knife in many positions like this, the chest position, like this, to make small sticks, as I made many times, this is better, much better. It's up to you. I will show you just this because this is the one I would choose, but it's not that the other is not good. Just my choice. So before continuing with the spoon, I want to hit something, make some tea, and so I will just split some pieces for my oven stove. To make sticks like this are perfect to start your fire with no problem at all. Okay. Okay. forgot my precious heat shield, which in case of wind is really useful, but if you put enough wood it will be good enough. Let's continue with the spoon. But now I can tell you that I'm really well impressed, because as I said, I worked on the spoon all the afternoon, but my hands are really good because of this handle, and I guess the other is pretty much the same. And the edge is perfect. No blending and no chipping at all. I like to strop my blades on the leather a bit, so I will do the same here. And this steel here will be like razor sharp after the stropping. I'm pretty sure of that. Here you can see the blade, no chipping as you can see, and no blending on the edge. And also the sheet is really good. You have a lanyard that as usual you can put aside, and you can use just the sheet without the lanyard. And also the fire steel is with a good Bocote handle, which is really nice. Anyway, guys, this Spanish company sent me these knives, and also told me that we are the first, me and other 5 friends are the first to try this in Italy. They are at a price more than fair, in my opinion, because I can't say that they are cheap, because it's not a cheap product, and made leather and wood and a good steel, but it's not expensive at all. On the description I will put not only the the address of the company, but also the address of 5 other friends, Italian friends, with YouTube channels like mine. They like to enjoy the outside like me, and they are good friends, and so it will be good if you pay a visit to them, especially if you are Italian, because some of them the channel is in Italian, but they make wonderful videos anyways. So cheers, my friends. Still chilly out here. We are around 5 degrees Celsius. And in this temperature you enjoy the pleasure of the fire. Even a small fire like this. See you soon, my friends.